What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Past the Barb. I'm your host, Ryan Pinkalla, and you're tuning into the number one outdoor podcast in the world. Truly incredible.
Uno.
Truly incredible.
I don't know how many weeks straight it is now, but we're on quite the run.
At this point, does it even matter? Does it even matter? Joining me tonight, to my right, Mr. Cody Hahner, coming in from the Wisconsin.
Tip of the cap.
Folks at home.
Tip of the cap.
Tip of the cap to you as well, Will.
Tip of the cap.
Captain Bill checking in from the barn as well.
Yep. Here at the barn. Just got done fishing. Scurried on up here, and I made it. Just a little bit late. Not too bad.
Love that. Better than usual, dude. Better than usual.
I know. At least I'm here.
This is good. So we got a kind of a short squad tonight. The other boys, I think, are fishing. I told them to send me some updates, so we'll see what if that actually happens. But so far, things have been rolling. Things have been going good. What have you boys been up to? Cody, what I seem like you've been doing at least a little bit of fishing.
Yeah, I've been dabbling. So for those that don't know, those that are strictly bass fishermen or trout fishermen, the muskie season is upon us. And we have been chucking. Had a couple pretty solid camping trips up in northern Wisconsin. And then, honestly, we had the Wisconsin opener, then Minnesota opener. Now it's the following. Was it Minnesota opener? Following week after Minnesota opener. And things are kind of like falling into the summer patterns as far as I could see. Like it's crazy how fast that time frame goes. Like you want it to happen so badly, and then it comes and it's like it's kind of like an old something, but it comes and it's not as
that it is.
Not as great as you're hoping for it to be. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I've been doing some muskie fishing. We captured one last night. That was pretty sick. Put life and limb on the line. Drove my boat up to the headwaters of a dam where they were pushing three gates, 3 bills, and we found one small little eddy where we captured a nice 38.5 incher. So I was pretty pumped about that. I like the
term captured. I'm going to start using that. I like that.
Captured. Yeah, it is nice.
Captured, clubbed,
snatched.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Snatched, put in the satchel.
Yeah. Kidnapped.
Slime on the boat, though, eh?
Yeah, little musky slime.
I think Cody, you sent me that picture. I think I've fished there before. I'm not trying to blow any whatever, but I think
we'll send the pen.
It's blown. I blew it long time ago.
I mean, I don't think it's a big secret, but I'm fairly certain I've fished there because one of my buddies has a cabin not far from there, and I think I've fished that. I've caught some fish there before. If I'm thinking it's the same, I don't know.
Is it central-ish of my state?
Did you hate being there?
I would say it's more northern, maybe. So perhaps it's a different dam.
It could be Tomahawk if he has a cabin. Tomahawk, Rylander.
No, I don't believe there's a lot of cabins in that area.
It's more near. I don't want to. We'll talk later, but I think I haven't been there in 4 years, but it looked sort of semi-familiar. Anyways,
so 38 incher.
Oh yeah, yep, real solid. Worth risking it all, and it was exciting too.
Was it at least really beat up?
Oh,
was it disgusting looking?
Yes.
Because
oh god, yeah.
Definitely.
It was a classic dam fish.
Yeah,
where they've been beating their heads off of rocks trying to suck up, sea scorpions.
It's almost
that's
like
about all that lives up there.
Like they're in a hatchery pen, like they're just like
in the washing machine.
I mean, it had a girth of a solid, 12 inches.
Oh
yeah, I know this. I've been there.
Yeah. You've been there. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just had I'm like, I normally don't go up into like the headwaters of like the dam-ish areas just because I know what I'm going to catch. It's going to be like, unless you're extremely lucky, but typically it's like tops out at about 41, 42 inches around my area. And typically it's like 34 to 39 inches long. And they are just beat. Like they've sucked on some minnows with some lead attached to it. They have been caught. Well used. Not the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
they've been
the first
rode
time,
hard and hung up wet.
Yeah, first time that thing has been in a nice net, but not the first time that thing has been dragged on rocks. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Some of the most abused muskies in the continental United States, I would say.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
No doubt in my mind.
Not spawning scars.
No. So you got are you going to any more pristine water?
Oh, let's see. There's I don't know, it keeps raining like crazy in the culvert that's pretty close to me flows into the Wisconsin River, so I'm sure I could catch one of those out of there. But as far as I'm looking, I'd like to make a trip to Vermilion later in the summer, like July full moon. But as far as right now, northern Wisconsin is kind of where I'm at. That's gonna be where we're residing.
Yeah.
Open water bite should be pretty solid this weekend.
Yeah. Are you going to be out this weekend?
Potentially. Depends on the plans. I know Sunday we got stuff, Father's Day, whatever, but it would be nice to get
Sunday's Father's Day.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you forgot,
make sure
there you go.
You're welcome.
Good thing you said something because it's this Sunday, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this Sunday. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Bill.
Count it.
Good. It's good. Put her in the calendar.
We'll make a note here.
I did not know
right
that.
on. Well, okay, you got to at least break this down. You were kind of talking about it before we started recording, but give me a rundown. Give me a rundown on this boat situation.
Oh, so someone hit my boat.
In the water.
In the water. Yeah. So it was last weekend. So I was fishing, just kind of scouting some new lakes or whatever, and parked my boat, went to go get my truck, gas station across the road, went to the gas station, came back to my truck, came back to my boat, and I'm like, well, that's wrong. Like, what am I looking at? And the top cap, where the top cap and the bottom cap, for those that have fiberglass boats, they're two pieces. The rub rail is like extruding out, and there are spider cracks all the way down the side of it.
Oh, no.
All the way down the side of it. I'm like, and there's one person sitting there. I'm like, did you happen to see if someone pulled their boat out? Like, did you see anything? They're like, oh, no, I kind of heard something, but that's about it. I'm like, well, they're gone now. And now my boat is like, it's floating. It's floating, but it's fucked. Yeah, the whole top cap is just spider cracked.
God
from
damn it.
A quarter panel all the way up to the trolling motor. That whole top panel is just spider cracked.
Did you file like an insurance claim for that? How's that?
That's what's going to be next up on the agenda. But I'm like, dude,
and like, how do you even do that in like a docking scenario?
Like, because I usually,
seriously,
like I go outside, like if there's a dock, or like the shore is sand or something, I'll just beach the boat, power poles down, whatever. And I don't know how that happened. They must have like tried to come in between me and then realized they smoked me and backed out and hightailed it out of there. But
Unreal.
yeah, it was not good.
God,
it is not good.
That sucks.
Yeah.
At least like own it and be like, hey, dude, like hey.
Yeah, like give me some insurance money. Like give me a little bit.
Something.
Give me something.
My God, dude.
Yeah. No, we're looking at some serious fiberglass work.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
No, so it was pretty solid. But the lake is solid, so that's good.
Well, silver linings, I guess.
Oh my God.
Like I'd take people there.
Sure.
All right. Well, hopefully that gets straightened out. But that's like, I don't even know. Like, you just roll back up to the dock and you're like, that ain't it. Like that.
Well, it wasn't like this before.
Like, so I definitely don't remember that.
Something happened.
Yeah, something
strange happened.
Who's this person? Just like, what? I just like heard something. I don't know.
Yeah, there was another boat here, but he's not here any longer. Crazy. Yeah, so that's that.
Unreal.
Yeah. So
well, that's hell of a start to the week,
Solid. Super solid.
Love that for you.
Thank you.
All right, Will, what about you? You've been doing some fishing. I know that.
Yeah, I've been staying pretty busy around these parts for sure. It's been pretty good overall, I guess. Today was damn good. Yesterday, not so much. Day prior, it's been a little up and down, but overall, yeah, the trout are hitting the net. We're keeping the net wet out there on the Missouri River. So, yeah, it's been good and busy. So,
are you guys like banging browns, or what are you after right now?
Brown trout and rainbows.
Yeah.
Whatever decides to bite. I don't discriminate. And the whitefish too. We do have a very healthy population of Rocky Mountain whitefish here, which are a native species to the Missouri. I have to remind my clients often when they say, "Oh, it's a whitefish." Well, they were here first, long before the trout.
They were here first,
long before us. They were here when Lewis and Clark were heading upstream. So, it's been good. We're kind of coming into more sort of summertime patterns here too, moving out of that sort of spring cold where they're kind of in more of that deeper, slower stuff, and now they're moving into sort of the faster, shallower water, which I like better. I think that's more fun to fish, no matter what you're fishing for. I like fishing fast, choppy stuff. I think is more fun. So yeah, they've been sliding into that stuff and hooking some nice fish, and it's been good overall. I've got no complaints. I'm kind of coming into big, 14-day long stretches, 15 in a row. So it's going to be June and July are very busy, but it'll be good. We'll see what I say in 2 weeks, but right now things are good.
All right, you got to give us a little nugget. What's give us like hot flies.
The hot flies. Well, today, let's see, what was my hot one? The split case PMD was really good today, unweighted.
Yeah, for sure.
Split case PMD was good. Sure. Also been getting them
is that green pumpkin or
getting them on the Frenchie?
No, black and blue.
Oh yeah, black and blue, right.
Frenchie's been good. Sow bug scud stuff in the morning's been okay. That's sort of tapering out though. I'm trying to think what else is my hot fly. Purple weight fly, that one's pretty self-explanatory. That's been fishing pretty good.
Very self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean that's
you don't even have to explain it actually.
That one's easy enough. It's purple and heavy. I'm trying to think what else has been good. Been getting some on the Napoleon. That one's Quildagon. That one's been fishing.
Yes.
I just ran out.
One of my favorites.
The quill, the 14 quill for a while there was rocking it. Now last 3 days
14.
They've moved up. Yeah, size 14, pretty big. But yeah, overall split case PMD has been sort of my rock star the last 3 days. So I hope they stay on it. We'll see. It is amazing, I will say here, like you fish such little tiny stuff. I mean, 14, 16, 18, that's sort of the realm that we're in here. Rarely bigger than 14. It's like, it's crazy that they can even see some of these flies, first of all. And two, that some of them that like, if you change one little thing, different color, different profile, that it makes that much of a difference. It's kind of mind blowing actually, because everything is so tiny to our eyes anyways.
Right.
Like to the human eye, it's like, you would think, well, it's not going to make a difference. It's all sort of the same stuff, but it's amazing here. It totally does, because it's such a fertile environment. There's so many bugs in the water here that they have so many choices that like once they get on a certain thing, like right now they're really on to like PMD type stuff, pale marine duns, which is just a mayfly. It's just kind of mayfly. But like you got to match it, because once they get keyed in on something, it's like that's all they want to eat, like it's crazy. It's craziness. But once you find it, it works, at least for the day. And then the next day, like it might not work, so.
I mean, that sounds like a pattern to me, really.
Yeah, it's all about putting together the patterns. And the dry fly fishing has been pretty good too. If you get a guy that can cast it and can do it, the dry fly fishing, that's been getting good and is only going to get better. So,
But all the clients you've had are really good casters, I'm sure.
Oh, the best.
Yeah,
the best.
That's my best.
The best. Yes. Superb. All stars. Yes. Yep. Yeah, super, super good. My guys today were sticks, and we whacked them. It's amazing the difference it makes. But
no, it's just the day.
It was just on today, dude.
Had the right bugs today, I guess. So
it's too bad that you only have the option of casting, because you just look up at the sky and go, looks like a trolling day.
I would love that. If I could troll, that'd be so sick. Oh my god!
I think there is I'm not going to name drop him here, but there was a longtime guide and like historic guide in northern Wisconsin. He told me that he's like, yeah, once the trolling rules opened up in northern Wisconsin, as soon as I had some bad casters, look up at the sky. Yep, that's going to be the bite today. Back them up. We're trolling.
Yeah. I wish. There's a lot of days I wish.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But no, all in all, it's life is good here in Craig, Montana. So
where are these guys coming from? Or you got a lot of locals?
My guys today were actually locals. They were from they lived in Helena. They're locals, but I'm trying to think. Day before that I had Texas guys. Day before that, I think those guys were California guys, all over the place, both coasts. You get a lot of guys from both coasts, East Coast, West Coast, and then most everything in between. But I've had sort of a mix, I would say. But my guys today, they're only an hour away, so they're good fishermen.
Hell yeah. You clubbing anything?
No. I'd like to go walleye fishing or something so I could at least clean a fish again. But that time will come, and coming in about a month and 10 days, I'll be back.
Gonna get harvested.
Back in the Great White North, and my bat is ready to ding, a little two-ball bat.
Let that baby ring a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to unleash on some natural species.
Hell yeah,
club will come. But yeah, all is good. Pink, what have you been up to?
I've been doing a good amount of fishing. I partook in the Minnesota muskie opener.
Nice.
It did not go well. I went out. I ventured to Mille Lacs with the rest of the state to try that. And yeah, we pretty much started fishing at midnight, and we had zero action until it got light. We had a few very lazy follows. We didn't see a single fish get caught. Like Cody, I know you were there last year, and it was pretty lights out. I mean, it was kind of timed perfect with like the moon and everything.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
We
can't win with the scrapbook.
Yeah. But did some direct bang injections to get through the whole thing. But I did catch one of the biggest smallmouth I think I may have ever set the hook on, though. At about 3 a.m.
Perfect. Classic.
Just burning a blade over some cabbage.
What size blade might I ask you?
It was actually one like the most magnum chatterblade you can get on a bucktail.
My God.
Yeah, the big dog that's like probably a 2-inch long blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just letting her eat over that flat just locked me up.
How big was it?
We were thinking 6 something. I mean, it was so disappointing though, right? Because you're just grinding it and it just locked up I set the hook on it. And we're like, oh, we got one, and it's rolling on the surface. No. Then, we all are clicking headlamps on and stuff. We're just getting closer. And we're like, oh, damn it, So it was like this whole disappointing thing. And I got a muskie rod with like 100-pound braid. So I just boat flipped it into the floor. And then we're all just like looking at it like, shit, that's pretty big, eh? So it was still cool, but we were like pretty bummed it wasn't a muskie because we actually caught 2 small. We caught one that was like a 4-pounder like an hour before that on I think a double 10 or something. Yeah. And then that one like an hour later. Nice. But yeah, we had one up that was probably like 43-ish and then a couple other small ones, but they were just so lazy, dude. Oh my God. But I got out of there like later in the morning and whatever. But those guys hung around and they had a shot at one big one that next night. But that was, I think, pretty much it. Like I said, I didn't hear about many fish getting caught up there. I'm sure people did, but it was definitely slow. I did a little bit of muskie fishing the other night on Tonka. I went out, little night mission, had some action, didn't put hooks in any again though, but it was still cool. So yeah, muskie fishing's been a grind other than those couple I caught in Wisconsin or whatever a few weeks ago. But yeah, I don't know. I'm getting set up to go do some salmon banging this coming weekend. Going over to Lake Michigan.
Very nice.
Going to be a club fest. And I think I might go.
What city are you going out
of? This coming weekend out of Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what's going on there.
MKE.
The old yeah.
Milwaukee.
So we're going to the Milwaukee. So we'll see what happens there. It sounds like the bite's been pretty good, kind of like up and down the whole Wisconsin side. So we'll see. And then the next weekend, I'm hoping to go back, but I think I might go to a different port or something. I love fishing out of Sheboygan, and I'm thinking I'm going to go there. It sounds like it's been absolutely on fire there. So
yeah,
we'll see. It sounds like still a lot of coho fishing. Like normally that kind of, I mean, it kind of is good the whole like summer, but it's really good, early. But they're getting some big ones this year. It seems like there's a lot of bait around and the fish are getting big faster,
Mm-hmm.
Usually like as they progress up, they are like growing more and more. And by the time it's the fall, they're like as big as they're going to get.
Right.
But they're getting a lot of nice size coho right now. The kings are showing up pretty good. And then there's always a big steelhead around. So it's kind of a mixed bag of everything. I know you can bang giant. I mean, there's Lakers all over too, but targeting salmon. So we'll see. Hopefully we can at least get into a couple kings would be pretty cool. But I've been seeing some because there's so much information out there. Like people post like crazy about the bite out there. But like this early in the year, there's already been a lot of, like upper teens to 20-pound kings showing up all over the place. So that's sweet. That if you get bit, it's probably going to be a good one. But
no, that'll be sick. So yeah,
hopefully very knifeable situation, and we'll load up. But we'll see how it goes. We're doing
might get
oh yeah, no, get the hose out because like we're gonna make a mess. But I think we'll do a 3-day trip this weekend. So see how it goes, and then
time to bonk.
Yeah, time to bonk. All right, but yeah. So I don't know, mainly that stuff. I really got to do a little bit more bass, and we got that. I'm fishing that little Tuesday nighter deal with Sobe. And
are you guys partners?
We're not partners. We're competitors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Bart fishing it?
No, he quit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he quit.
He's cashing big checks.
Yeah. He's trying for the big stuff, and we're just over here, flipping the worm around, seeing what's going on. But no, it should be fun. We actually had one last week it got canceled because of like a storm or whatever. Like the day of the tournament, there was going to be a pretty big storm in the evening, so they just canceled it. And I had gone out and pre-fished for it, and Sam did too. And so I think between the two of us, we probably spent like 3 full days on this body of water. And I think collectively we had 1 bass to show for it.
Oh no.
Like at all. Like just getting bit at all.
Well,
so then they were like, oh, we're gonna cancel it. And we're like, oh no. That sucks.
Oh.
So yeah. So whatever. It was like the water was super dirty and super high in this lake just from all the rain we've been having. And apparently fish is real shitty when it gets like that out there. So now I know.
A blessing in disguise.
Yeah. And this week, so tomorrow, it's on just an absolute metro grind fest of a lake. So if we can get 5, I'll be super stoked with that. But I was out there yesterday and it was pretty much Dink City. You can get bit pretty much anywhere, but you don't want any of them. They're all just like the small 12 to 14 inches as far as the eye can see. So we'll see if we can scratch out a few. But no, I'm fishing with our buddy Connor actually.
Oh, nice.
Sure.
Yeah. Con dog.
Friend of the show.
Yeah. So we'll see if we can grind one out tomorrow and
best of luck in the derb.
Start the season off right, So that's kind of where we're at with it. But I'm definitely looking forward to a little more bassing. Still keep on the musky grind, but like to lay the wood to a few old big heads.
True.
Cody, are you doing any tournaments at all, or not really?
So I got basically some Wednesday nighters lined up around here locally. They're kind of little cash cows. Like you got, I don't know, everybody throws in $40 and winner take all type deal.
Yeah.
So it'll be like 6 boats, 8 boats, 12 boats, whatever it is, but winner take all. And
I like that.
That ain't bad.
This time of year, like you catch 4 bass in the Wisconsin River. W.
Yeah.
You take home the dub.
And this guy knows how to catch some 14 inchers in Wisconsin River.
we can get some keepers.
We can get some keepers.
Yeah.
We can get some good fish.
Talking slugfest.
Giants. Well, I literally won a 4 bass with 4 bass. I won with 398.
That's incredible. That's incredible, actually.
Blew away the competition.
Like
blew it away.
When you came in, they were like, you were like, yo.
It was like 15 boats.
Were you sandbagging it at the ramp? You kind of waited, walked up.
I'm like,
dumped them in. Check these out, boys.
What do y'all got?
Check, please.
Nothing. I'm like, buddy, we got him.
we got him.
I mean, the skinniest check size smallmouth you've ever seen. Like putting them on a call.
Actually, amazing. That's awesome.
That's got to be one of the smallest bags that's ever won a derby. I gotta think it's got to be right there.
Put it on
for 4 fish.
I'm putting it on my website. I'm gonna do it.
I think that's something to be damn proud of. That shows that you can grind it out in a real grinder fest.
Yeah. I think it's opening, showing the width of my fishing knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very quickly, can we do a quick little new segment I just thought of? What are some of your guys' favorite buzzwords around tournament fishing? I sort of like a real grinder. That's a good one.
That's the best one.
But then I like too when it's going to be a quote unquote slug fest. I like that one. Do you guys have any that you'd like to throw in the ring?
The 2 extremes there for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, oh man, it's just a grind out there. It's just a grind out there. Like the top 20 all has over 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just like being stingy.
Stingy. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Stingy, scratchy.
It always gets me when guys say that they got in a bad rotation.
Yeah.
Just got in a bad rotation.
It's like, did you have a good rotation?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Like, what does that even really mean?
No, we got in a bad rotation where we were fishing spots that there weren't fishing.
Yeah. That is a bad rotation, really, when you think about it.
Just fished on instinct. I like that. On instinct. Just instinctually went after them, like my life depended on it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, like I saw some wind blowing on a point, and I instinctually went and fished it.
Yeah, like I was a caveman in my $75,000 bass boat.
Like
I suddenly got the overwhelming urge to turn around.
Yeah.
Like hair grew on my neck. Yeah. And I'm like, I turned my live scope to that point.
Instinctually.
I knew instinctually.
Yeah.
And I knew there was fish there.
Just fished instinctually all day, and I like that a lot. Yeah. Just going off instinct. There's more, but that's a good.
There's more. There's so many. It's like yeah. Or like the guys that are on them, and like you just gotta flip around.
Yeah. I was around. I like when they say I was around them all day. I was around them. We were around them, but
we didn't catch them.
We were around the right ones in practice. There's one I've seen on Facebook 50,000 times.
Yep. Oh. Yep. There are the practice winners.
Yep.
Then there's the tournament winners who seem to be quiet in the corner over there. And they're just like stroking their beard, just not talking to anyone.
Yeah, that was a fun little roundup there.
We'll revisit that. I like that. I'll pull a few from the old Tuesday nighter this week when I'm there.
Yeah. Just see what the chatter is.
There'll be a little chatter.
Mm-hmm.
That little way in chatter. No, yeah, I like it. It's fun.
That's just
good banter.
That's just
It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good turny chatter.
All right, boys. I want to get into this. We teased the folks a couple weeks ago about it, but we need some garden updates, folks. I want to know real time. What is the bounty? What is the bounty?
Mine's not so good. I don't know about Cody's, but we frosted up pretty hard here last week, and I was not prepared for that. Let's say that.
Full crop down the drain. What are we talking?
Yeah, I mean, damn near. Yeah, I mean, some of my stuff made it, but I don't know. Not very good.
Cody, Captain Bill got frosted up.
We done got frosted up here.
How's the community plot going? He's shaking things up over there.
What's going on over in the
I don't know, man. He's in the space shuttle right now. What's going on, dude?
We're having
oh my god.
Issues.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Just
all right.
And you're right. I can tell you.
Thing.
Well, it wasn't a total loss, but it's kind of a combo with me and Ron, my guy that lives in the house below the barn. Mm-hmm. He's been tending it much better than I have. I'll say that. But yeah, we had a little bit of frost damage and gonna have to replant some stuff, but it's not starting out the way that I wanted it to. That's for certain. But
just got to ease into her, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get like 5 springs in Montana where you think it's going to be warm, and then all of a sudden it's 35 degrees at night. So now things are looking like the lows are only in the 40s, mid 40s for the foreseeable future. So I don't know. I hope that it pans out a little bit better. We'll see. You're gonna have to replant for sure.
So, like, how often you watering these bad boys?
Oh, I mean, it's irrigated. I mean, Ron's got the sprinkler system ran out to him, but I don't know. I'm not in charge of irrigation. That's Ron.
Oh, right on. Yeah, you got a designated irrigation, man. I hear that. Yeah,
but we've been getting a fair amount of rain, so I don't know. We'll see.
That's farming, dude.
Sorry, I've been gone. How's it going over there?
You're probably tending the garden.
Growing? Oh, I've been mulching, son. I tell you what.
Where you at with this
they wanted a competition blowing it out of the water as far as the community goes.
I'm certain yours is better than mine.
Is it not growing or what?
Well, I
got to frost it up, dude.
Yeah. Shucks.
But Ron's kind of taking the head on that. So,
boys, it is flourishing right now. So I am so shocked. I am dead ass shocked.
Flourishing.
Thank God we've had this much rain in this area, because that thing would have been bone dry, dead as fuck a long time ago. But yeah, like there was so we planted all our plants, whatever, and I showed you all that picture, and then
it looks good. Yeah, you looked like you had a nice plot.
Are you jealous, Will? Is that why you're walking away?
He is. He's crying in his frosted up garden.
Crying. Using his tears to grow his tomatoes. No, but anyway, so like we came back the one day, we're like so pumped about our garden because it was growing so well, and then we came back and it was decimated by rabbits, which I may have said in a previous podcast, and just decimated, knobbed off, cleared out. I'm like, fuck. So we went and we bought some fence, like leaders, not like followers. We put a fence around our garden, and now if you look across the savannah of other plots, ours is just an oasis of flourishing produce,
and everyone else's sucks.
They're in shambles.
Obviously.
It's got to feel good to be the king of the community garden. I've never been, but I imagine it feels pretty good.
You know, I have met a couple of the tenders that like tend
fellow
the grounds
farmers
or whatever. They're like, "Oh, is that your garden? Oh, wow, you have a really nice garden." I'm like, shake my hand. Does this hand look clean to you? No, I tend it.
Yeah.
I tend it.
Yeah. You should thank me for my service.
Many calluses here. Many calluses.
I like the thank you for your service. You're welcome for mine.
Oh my God.
No, but it's fun. It's been awesome. Like that's definitely a new addiction of mine, is going there and be like, all right, well, they're blooming. What is that? What is that?
Flexing on people.
It's got to feel pretty good, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Bill, you'll get there.
I don't know.
Oh my God. It's not for everybody, you know.
I don't know if I don't have a green thumb. I'd make a terrible farmer, that much I'm realizing.
Literally just
the heart of Montana is not the agricultural capital it seems to be.
Potatoes.
This is cow country here. It's not meant to grow things. It's meant to graze.
Dude, that's classic bad at farming. This is cattle area.
It is, yeah.
We're in cattle country.
I got a mule, so that's enough for me.
And some mice.
Well,
come on, that's a second-hand mule at best.
Actually, there's 2 of them now.
2 mules?
Oh yeah.
Well, when did this when did this?
I don't know. All of a sudden, just the other day, I looked out in the pasture and there's another mule out there. I don't know even its name or what the story is. I seriously have no idea. It's really friendly.
It seems like critical elements to this story.
It's way more. This one is way more friendly than Monk for sure. But I honestly don't know. Like 2 days ago, there's just another mule in the yard, and I haven't seen Ron to ask him about it. So I don't know. There's 2 mules. Though. Yeah, we're doubled up. It's really kind of a cool, kind of smoky gray color. I mean, it's a good looking mule for sure.
All right, we might need to post some photos about this new mule situation.
Yeah, no, I'll snap some. I wish I knew his name. I guess maybe I'll just name him.
Maybe we should have the fans name this mule.
We could. I guess I'd better ask Ron what's his government.
Ron doesn't have a choice in this matter.
We got two mules here at the barn, so it's pretty fun and exciting stuff.
That's big time.
It is.
That is big time.
So
yeah,
incredible. Well, hey, one garden down, one mule up. You know,
it's true.
That's
Montana. It's a horse apiece.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What are we
moving on? Moving on.
Moving on.
All right, boys.
Oh, man, we gotta stop.
Let's get into this one. This is a fan favorite here. Let's just dig into a little what you've been drinking, boys. Let's get it rolling here. I do have I'm just gonna lead this off because I have a good one and just kind of came across this one. Been on it all weekend so far. This is new to me, but I don't even know what it's called. It's vanilla crown and orange soda mixed together.
Wow. Sort of like
and it's like a drink. Yeah, dude. Creamsicle scenario. Unreal.
That does sound pretty good.
Unreal. Vanilla crown, orange soda. Get you right in a hurry.
That sounds very good. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. Get it going. Because I was skeptical. No longer.
I like that a lot. That's a good one, Pink. That's a good one. That's a good one. Hahner, what about you?
Honestly, so I have been just pounding. Literally lately, I've just been pounding Celsius.
Oh yeah.
So
okay, that doesn't really count, though.
Okay, so hear me out.
Did you quit drinking?
Not entirely, but so hear this Celsius thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter the flavor. I just go in there like at 6 a.m. and 5 a.m. I just grab one, whatever. And then I came across this Instagram reel where it was saying like Celsius has cyanide in it, like whole 9 yards. Just got done telling my girlfriend, like, because she's a fan of them too, like, look, we cannot drink these anymore. Like, there's cyanide in these things. Go fishing in the morning. I'm like,
just guzzling.
Oh, cyanide tastes pretty damn well.
So we're beyond the cyanide thing.
Oh yeah, that doesn't matter. That not a big deal. Not
so
a big
deal.
Back on the way.
So Celsius. Yeah,
they're pretty. They are pretty good. I do like them from time to time. They're a nice drink.
So do you think this will be one where, like, in 5 years they'll change it and we'll be like, let's put the cyanide back in Celsius? You know, it's just not what it used to be.
It's gonna be like that Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Mexican Coca-Cola hits a little different than American.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Will knows what I'm talking about.
We're gonna be importing Celsius from Canada, dude.
Glass bottles. Glass bottles. Yeah.
What are you on, Stolski?
Well, currently I'm drinking a Kirkland hard seltzer, which I think for the price is one of the best seltzers on the market. They're cheap, you know. I've been drinking lots of Topo Chico, also glass bottle, which is a nice little feature. You know, I love
very
Topo.
nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess if I've been like, you know, in the summertime I drink lots of tequila, and we know the drink, you know, Topo Chico, tequila, and lime, and that's sort of my daily driver. But yeah, I haven't varied too much, but I like that thing that you were talking about, Ryan. That sounds delightful.
You're gonna have to give it a little rip, dude. They
on
are
a hot summer's day.
dude, they are so refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal good.
Yeah, I haven't really deviated from the normal. A little. I either have allergies right now or I'm sick. I'm not entirely sure which one. So last night I had a little bit of Pendleton just to kind of soothe my throat, which I think that helped. But that's kind of my big three: seltzers, tequila, Pendleton. This time of year.
The holy trinity of Montana.
Yeah, this time of year when it's warm.
So. I like it. Did you bring us Did you grace us with a wiki find tonight?
Oh, I got one, and I don't know if we've talked about him before, but I'd sure like to. Have we talked about Genghis Kahn on the pod before?
Oh,
I don't believe we've indulged.
Genghis Khan, for those that don't know, was, I mean, destroyer of worlds, Mongolian war sort of.
He was the goat.
At one point, I mean, he controlled all of Asia and a lot of Europe as well. The first thing about Genghis I'd like to touch on is that he was the first pioneer of chemical warfare. So what he would do during this time, this is when like the bubonic plague was going on, you know? So when he'd get around a village and there'd be a siege, you know, they'd all hole up inside of it. He'd load up a couple of these plagued up dead people, and then he'd put them on the catapult and launch them into the village, a whole bunch of them. And then the plague would spread like mad, and it would just flush them all out. I like that part about him. Another sort of interesting thing.
I
know a lot about Genghis Khan. Another interesting thing about Genghis is that. So I am going to read this verbatim because I don't want to screw up the numbers, but it says that as many as 8% of the men dwelling in the confines of the former Mongol Empire can trace their lineage back to Genghis Khan. So they are from his descent.
What a stud.
Just a
yeah, I think a lot of that was probably not consensual. But yeah, Genghis, like, that's a fact. I mean, like, he was doing a lot of pillaging for sure.
Fornicating.
Yeah. But Genghis Khan, he's a good one to get on his. Yeah, if you get on his wikis, there's a lot of sort of interesting stuff about that cat for sure. So
big Genghis did. Hell, right?
Man lived his life.
Talking
Genghis,
he lived it for sure. Yeah. I mean, if you ever like look at the map of what he ruled at one point, it's really staggering. And they used horses too. I like that. They're horse warriors.
It is badass vibe though, and they're just plaguing people up. Horses.
Oh yeah, I mean, chemical warfare, catapults, bow and arrows, spears. I'd imagine all kinds of cool stuff. But yeah, Genghis, read up on him if you haven't.
They were just really doing it back then, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure. People sometimes are like, "Oh man, I wish I lived in a different." I'm glad that I don't live back then.
Could you imagine?
I don't think I'd fare super well against a Mongolian horse attack.
I think there's like a sweet spot maybe between like that and like now. You know?
Yeah, maybe like the 80s.
We're glazing over a little bit of time there.
Yeah. Maybe like the 70s or the 80s. I don't think any time prior to that, because then it's Vietnam, and then it's World War II, and then it's World War I.
No thanks.
And then the Civil War, God forbid. And then the War of 1812, also not fun.
Revolution. Then 1776. 1776 would have been pretty solid.
There's a good window. There's a good window there.
There's a solid chunk.
I wouldn't mind, yeah. But I think right now is
6'3" person.
Yeah.
Leading into battle.
Take that.
I'd take that.
Take that.
Take that 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, I would take that guy.
That's fair.
I think right now is a pretty good time to live.
Like we're making it happen. I agree.
Yeah, I don't want to be dodging.
There's definitely worse,
disease-ridden bodies being flung over the walls of my village. I mean that sounds terrible.
It's a horrifying way to go.
Yeah. And they'd wait him out too. I mean, they'd
Genghis is here, baby. Genghis.
Weeks, Genghis just wait outside. We'll siege you for a month if that's what it takes. So be it. He'd probably go to a different. I mean, they had a lot of horseback warriors. So,
patience, dude. They were willing to play the long game.
Absolutely, and you have to control the entire Asian empire. You got to play the long game, something like that.
I like that. That's like a different. Like people just want everything to happen so quick now, and they're just like, "Watch this." We're going to plague them out.
I know.
3 years.
When can we get a good siege? Nobody wants to siege it out anymore. So
it's just like, it's underrated, I think.
It is. Shout out GK.
Like, where's a castle when we can siege? Where is a good castle?
I want a moat, and I want to have alligators.
Do you think that's why they went away from castles? Was all the sieging?
I think that had something to do with it. I think the sieging got to be a little bit of a pain in that.
I'm just over all this sieging, dude.
All that sieging just it gets wary, you know. I mean, it runs long for sure.
Oh my god, dude. That was a good one though. We'll have to like get like Genghis greatest hits coming back around. I feel
we
like
can
this guy
circle
did
back
something.
on Genghis for sure. Like I said,
Yeah.
I know a lot about him, probably more than I should, but he's a fascinating cat for sure.
Yeah. All right. God, that was a good one. All right, boys. Will, I know you're on the clock here, but
yeah, I'm boogieing in about 10 minutes time. But
all right, he's got things to do tonight, folks. Big Will.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell a boat, and so
it's the whole thing, you know.
Yeah.
But all right, we're gonna move on to another segment here. This is a fan favorite, folks. Coming to you with another round of the single shot right now, boys. I'm gonna introduce this segment, and then we're gonna bring in our guest. So this segment, we're gonna go around and ask this special guest one question each. You get one question, he gets one answer per question. He'll come around, ask us all a question at the end, and we'll see where we go from there. But one question apiece. No cheating. We're going in. Our guest tonight, Rapala social media icon, veteran Big Ten basketball player, native Wisconsin bass hammer, Luke Lowy.
Let's give it up for Luke.
Give it up for Luke.
What's up, fellas?
Yep, looking good tonight. Looking fresh. Looking very
good.
fresh.
That's a clean lid. I like that. I like the rope.
Appreciate that. Coming out soon.
Nice.
God damn.
Do you have like?
Oh, this is your question.
Yeah.
This is your question if you're asking it.
Yeah.
Do you have like?
Oh, this is your question, Cody.
All right, this is my question. Did you just pull that out of the cabinet behind you?
I did not.
Okay, that's Cody's question.
You could have had him there. That would have been good.
Nah, I mean,
that would have been good. Stolski, what do you got?
Okay, Luke, what's the best restaurant you've ever eaten at? The best, number one.
The number one restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
There is a supper club on the east side of Lake Winnebago called Cedar Lodge. Steaks are fire.
Nice.
Cedar Lodge.
It's my go-to.
Cedar Lodge. Okay. Shout out.
Write
Cedar
that
Lodge.
down.
It's like a 5 or 6 course meal too. You get like a fritter, you get a salad, you get a soup, you get a main course, and you get a dessert.
I love a good supper club. That's
Listen to Luke on this one. I have been to this place. Fantastic.
I've never been, but I want to go. It sounds
on the shores of Lake Winnebago.
I remember if it's in like Quinney or it's just a tiny little town on the east side.
East side.
Winnebago.
Okay.
Yep.
Noted.
All right. My turn here, huh? All right, I'm going with Luke. Has everything in life come as easy as you'd expect, having the bone structure of a Swedish model?
Oh my God. Oh my, no. The answer is no to that question.
I feel like that's false, but I'll write that down as a no.
Yeah, just no. Contrary to what you may believe, it's not true.
Well, Luke, you make it look easy, buddy. We gotta say.
Yeah.
Fresh lid, fresh shirt.
I'm just gonna disagree on this.
Appreciate it, fellas. All right, so I get some questions now.
Fire when ready, Luke.
What is it? One per.
I'll have one per, and then can I ask one to the group? Or is that not allowed?
We'll allow it.
Fair.
Okay.
We'll allow it.
All right, Hahner, I got the first one for you.
All right.
If you could choose the next crazy health trend, what would the health trend be? Diet wise or like exercise wise? Just something ridiculous.
I would say, repeat it one more time.
If you could choose what the next crazy like social media health trend was, what would it be?
I would say compensating for people who are lazy but are trying to get in shape-ish. So they're trying to get into fat shape, which is like now, kind of a trend in Victoria's Secret models. They're trying to get skinny fat. How do I get skinny fat from obesity? I want to try kind a little bit, but not too hard. I don't want to push myself.
That sounds a lot like the fishing diet. You just go out on the boat for 8 hours and don't eat anything, and then
you just rip darts, throw zins in, and when you come home, you eat a pot roast or something.
Reap the benefits.
1 meal a day.
Yep. No, it's called the carnivore diet. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but that's what it is.
Skinny fat.
All right, next one for Stolski. If you could erase one thing from existence and even the memory of it, what would it be?
One thing?
Anything.
Genghis
the
Kahn.
Worst thing you can think of.
I feel like there's some pretty shoe-in answers to this.
Well, take it how you want it.
I guess it depends what direction I want to go with this.
It really does here. I mean,
it's pretty broad.
I could save the world. I could side with the likes of Bernie Schultz and the crew.
Or just not.
One thing, if I could eliminate one thing from existence. Oh, man. I feel like I have to say Hitler. I feel like that's a pretty solid pick.
That seems like low-hanging fruit to me, but okay.
I feel like
that would have been on a wiki find.
Okay.
I feel like that's sort of the shoe-in. I mean, I'd save a lot of lives by doing that.
Well, layup that was.
Well,
Hitler, I guess.
The second one was forward-facing sonar, so.
I mean, they're like the same, dude. Like, when you really come down to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, me and Bernie Schultz could talk it all day long. It's ruining the sport, All right.
Yeah, all right. Those are good answers.
Hitler it is. We'll put you down for Hitler, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably the best one to go with.
I don't know who else. I mean, who else could be as bad? I don't know.
Well, it didn't have to be a person.
It was anything. It was
literally
anything.
I don't. Whatever. Okay, I'm standing by it. I think
I like the.
No, it's good answer, dude. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying.
Who's gonna argue that pick? I mean,
no, you can't. You can't. I mean, hey, solid.
Me. I have so many sassy remarks to make to you right now, Will. So many sassy things to say to you. I will refrain.
Other things I could have eliminated.
I will refrain.
For now.
Later on, when you're gone, and I'll talk behind your back.
Yeah, we know you're leaving soon. Let's be.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. What's the last one, Luke?
All right, go.
All right, the last one for Pink.
Yeah.
This one, I actually am interested in. This one is actually kind of a real question, not a hypothetical, but like, out of things you've eaten or cooked from animals or fish or whatever, what's like the grossest thing that looks like it's the grossest thing, but it actually tasted pretty good that you've made?
Tripe, dude. Stomach. Fucking stomach. Shit ain't it, brother. It looks like shit, and it also tastes like that. Also, it wasn't good, and I know that wasn't part of the question, but that's the answer.
I mean, That's kind of what I wanted to know. So I'll
That's
stay away
another
from
one
that.
no one's going to argue with, yeah.
What animal did you eat out of, like a porcupine or something?
No, dude. I think it was just from a cow. Just like just a cow. I mean, I don't think it really matters.
Don't
dude.
they have like 6 or 8 stomachs or something?
Well, I wouldn't recommend eating any of them. I don't care how many they got.
You probably picked like the last one. Yeah,
I would maybe take the first one, dude, if I had to pick.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's it, dude. Don't eat that shit.
Okay, noted. I won't.
I didn't see it at the local Quick Trip, or the Pick and Save, so I don't think I'm gonna pick it up anytime soon.
If you want it on the shelf, dude, you're gonna have to go to some super Asian grocery situations. They got it in bulk there, though.
They don't got it at the Casey's.
No, I haven't seen that. I've not seen that.
Breakfast stomach pizza.
All right, highly controversial, but we'll give you that last one. What do you got?
All right, this is an open question. I'm getting married in a couple weeks. Any tips from the boys?
I think you're asking the wrong crew here.
Wow,
this is not the right group of guys.
What a wasted question.
This is. I just need some insight from this group.
Any tips?
Any comments? Anything? Any input?
Happy for you.
Wow.
Well,
round of applause. Hey, there it is. Give it up.
Congrats, Luke. You're engaged.
Yeah. Good for you, you happy motherfucker.
Any tips?
Yeah.
I don't.
I wish I had like a construction guy with me right now. They'd be like, well, based on my second marriage, absolutely fucking not. Like, do not let her hold the financials. Don't let her hold the financials. Don't.
I'll say this. Like,
that's kind of what I was looking for.
There you go.
These will be my parting remarks here. What sort of venue are you doing the wedding at?
It's like a barn type deal.
Okay, and
Will's very familiar with that.
Yeah. Do they set up all the tables and the chairs for you and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Or are you making your groomsmen do it?
No, they set it up, but we got to take it down or clean it up.
Oh, so all the boys have to help out.
Yeah, I had to do one of those.
Mm-hmm.
That was going to be my tip: is don't make anybody do that, because I had a wedding that I was in last year where I had to. Actually, taking down's not as bad, but the setup, we had to do the entire setup, and that was just an absolute nightmare. Morning of the wedding.
Setup.
Oh, that's good timing.
Nobody wants to do that.
Nothing like the 6:30 wake up call. Got to go set up some tables, chairs, and build a dance floor too. So
it's like, Will, who hurt you?
I was the best man. It's my best part. Love you, Cole. It was worth it. It was a great wedding. I had a blast, but.
All right.
Nothing like calling out your best friend.
Yeah. Wow.
Just don't make
them build. Expecting the name drop.
Yeah, I won't make them build anything.
Oh, that's perfect then.
That's all I got.
All right, boys. I got a boogie. It was a pleasure.
All right. Yeah, it's been real. Okay. Thanks, Luke. Thanks, Luke.
Thanks for your questions.
Yep. Sure. Great questions. Have fun getting married later. We trimmed her down in a hurry here, boys.
Holy cow. Just you and I now.
Just you and me, baby.
Let's go.
Oh my God. All right, that was good. Let's all right. So we're gonna get it. I want to provide a fantasy update here. We got the scoreboard. Sir. I'm gonna fire this out there because this is very interesting. That I really thought this was gonna go differently. But
how is it going, Ryan?
Well, let me provide you a little scoreboard update.
Tell me.
First place currently is Cody Hahner with 11.
Really?
With 11. Really? 11.
Really?
In second place, Ryan Pinkalla with 14.
Wow.
Which is is me. Actually.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And then in third place is Adam Bartusik with 17.
Yes.
I would say the drop considerably at this point.
Yes.
And then in dead last place, Sam Sobey with 18. So it's currently a race for last place between Bart and Sobey. Kind of where we're at with this one.
I mean,
and we're running out of derps. There are 4 tournaments remaining in the season, including the one that's this week.
This one is what we call a layup. A layup of a pick. Layup. So for you and I, my friend, like what is their penalty? What are we doing?
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put up a poll on social media. We're going to let the fans decide between 4 options.
Yes, sir.
And I think we've had a lot of good ones. We've had some that are a little more extreme than others, if you will. But in this podcast right here, you and I, Cody, are going to narrow it down to our top 4 picks. We're going to post them on social media and let the fans decide what the loser's punishment will be. As everyone knows, last year we did this. Will Stolski was the grand loser to do a 5K hungover turkey trot on Thanksgiving Day and did not do it. So
we will be upholding rules.
Yeah, debts will be paid.
Year. Debts will be paid.
Yeah. So that's not concerning to me. So we've had some good ones suggested. I don't know if you had any fan favorites that you had, Cody, but we had some suggested as far as just like something lame, like putting a photo of an ex-girlfriend as a social media profile photo. That's for fantastic. A week. It's a good one. No comment, and there's no context. They just have to put it up there for 1 week. It is what it is. That's one that was submitted. Another one was, I believe, actually stolen from potentially another podcast where they pretty much had to eat like unlimited waffles or some bullshit like that. I don't know if we're into that kind of thing. That seems lame to me. Really, definitely. I mean, we want something that requires significant effort, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of where we're at. So the 5K, I think, is still on the table. Yes. We did have one suggestion. I think this was actually an Adam Bartusik suggestion about just driving to was it Texas and back?
Wow, that's a brutal one.
It is.
That's a brutal one.
It is.
But I mean, boys.
But as the scoreboard sits, I mean,
we're not in trouble here.
Not yet. I mean, it's not over, but it's not looking bad.
It's not looking bad. Man.
So I don't know. We're going top 4. We're going top 4. We're going to throw the poll out there. We don't get to make the final decision here.
So I like the one that was proposed to me on the Leech Lake Co-Angler event.
Yes. Yep.
But you have to fish for a different species.
Yep.
I think that one would be absolutely epic. And I'm sure Bart or Sam would definitely film it.
Oh yeah.
Like say you're in this Leech Lake Bass event. I would be throwing a Cannonball Jr. over a weed bed that this guy is trying to flip or whatever. Or you would be throwing a crappie tube at something.
Yeah.
Either way.
So fishing a bass tournament, but you can't use any bass tackle.
None of which.
I like that. So another one that we had suggested that I really did like was to fish a tournament, like an actual tournament, not just like for fun or whatever. Fishing a tournament with push button rods only.
Yes, Snoopy pole tournament.
Snoopy pole tournament. Yeah.
Which
I do like that one a lot, actually.
Yes. There's actually an event in central Wisconsin that does that as a charity event. You can only use a Snoopy pole to fish the event.
This would be in a regular tournament.
Like a Bassmaster Open.
Yes. And if you lose, that's what happens.
Well, you lost.
Or potentially a Champions Tour event. Or maybe it's a Tuesday nighter. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
It is
you
what it
lost.
is.
It is
you
what it is.
are the loser. So I mean that one to me hits home. I like that one. The 5K I think is on the table only because Stolski still has to do it.
Will didn't do it.
Yeah. So realistically, that one's there. I mean, the polar plunge has come up a lot of times. Personally, I don't feel that one is harsh enough. Very lame. Everyone does this. Not significant in any way.
No.
I mean, it is great cost. You know, shout out polar plunge, but like
we need embarrassment
for this. Yeah. And I think the other, embarrassment for sure. I think we had one other one that was suggested. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but we'll be posting this. So Hahner, do you have any instant favorites out of that category there?
I would say the girlfriend as your profile picture, that is some serious humiliation.
Yep, love that.
Then I would say fishing a tournament. I think the rules for that particular punishment were you have to fish a half a day with that rod and reel. Like other rod and reel. With a push button.
Yes.
So you have to flip with the
I thought it was for the full thing.
I mean,
full tournament.
Full tournament would be fantastic.
This is a punishment.
You have to sign up for an event and fish an entire event. Your partner does not. So it's up to him.
Yep. Yeah. But it's a team tournament. It's all good.
Yeah. But you have to fish and photograph, videograph that Snoopy.
There has to be evidence. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I like
so
that one.
That's on the okay. So we're adding that one. We'll do the girlfriend, ex-girlfriend photo, the Snoopy pole tournament, full tournament. Rules to be determined after the fact. And then what do we got? We got a tournament fishing. You can't use the appropriate species tackle for the whole tournament.
I like that one a lot.
That is pretty good.
I like that one a lot. Like, could you imagine casting over the line of like a Jason Christie with a Cannonball Jr. or a Cannonball? Just chucking something out there 400 yards and just
yep.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Just like ripping a bulldog through there.
Yes, just ripping up the weed bed. Just Medusa full tilt. Come on. That'd be fantastic.
All right. So I like that. And then we need one. What was one other one? So we have 3 there. The 5K is just in. Like we're not gonna even put that on.
Don't even count it.
That's just in. I mean that's for Will, really.
Yeah.
Which we just need to get him to do it actually, which is I mean, really that's the thing. It's just get in Stolski's DMs if you're listening to this. And we need to force him to do this, really.
He has to do it. It's his penalty.
Well, he has to. I mean, it's a year indebted already.
So it should be a 10K by now.
Oh, so 5K plus interest. I like that.
Yes.
I like that a lot.
Yes.
So 10K.
Full belly.
Well, it was
hung over.
It was hung over, really.
Yeah.
So, which I think is worse, actually. If I had to choose between those two, for sure worse.
I would say hungover, turkey trot, girlfriend, fishing for the opposite species, handicapped with the rod, and then potentially I like the driving to a destination, but that could also be fun and categorized as a vacation.
But you had to do it
we can't do that.
No, you have to do it in a day.
Yeah, it has to be a strict punishment. There can't be any fun about this. Oh, I got one. If it's Sam, Sam.
Yeah, go ahead.
If it's Sam, he cannot bring a GoPro on the boat. for the day, for the
He
full
just has to go.
day. He has to go and enjoy himself.
He couldn't do it. He could not do it. He couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it.
All right, we'll get this posted up on social media this week. So after this episode drops, this will go up, and everyone needs to vote on it. There's potentially some significant developments on the line here for whoever loses this thing. Right now, it's a dogfight for last place. Me and Hahner at least have a little bit of a buffer, but it's not over. With 4 events to go, anything can happen. But we're not looking bad. We're not looking bad right now.
We're fine.
So as long as our picks are good. So give us a little preview on this Wheeler Lake deal.
So Wheeler Lake, it's going to be an offshore bite, but there's going to be a tinge of shallow water bite. A tinge. But for the most part, there's going to be about 4 to 5 ledges that are going to be just absolutely packed with people. And then there's going to be those sneak hole spots where a guy like Jordan Lee, Justin Atkins, they just know this lake extremely well, and they know where fish set up, and they know when the current does what, where those fish are going to push off to. And I'm putting a lot of stock into those type of guys just for their knowledge base of the fishery. And a ledge fishing event like we've seen in the past with like a Jason Lambert or Randy Haynes, ledge fishing, knowing exactly where they're at based on the current flow is a huge deal. You can scope wherever the hell you want to scope. But knowing that 50-yard stretch because the current pushed them this way or they pushed them up on top of the ledge and you can't see them with your scope, that's a huge deal. That's just strictly local knowledge. That's strictly fishing that body of water for a long period of time. So I am going hard in the paint with a couple locals. And I think it's going to be an offshore bite, but I think a guy like, just basing it off of my picks, there is going to be somewhat of a grass bite. I would say there's going to be still a little bit of a shallow bite that can be captured for guys that are really good at it, that are going to catch 20-something pounds one day and then like falter off and catch 14 pounds. Yep. But I think to win this event, you're going to have to be offshore. You're going to have to live offshore, and you're going to have to catch 21 pounds a day. 21.
You think it'll be that heavy, huh?
I think so.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, and I think it's like you said, there's going to be some shallow stuff that plays. There's going to be a significant deep part of this. Just depends like how many guys are dividing fish, who figures out where they need to be the quickest. And like the Elite Series hasn't been there in a very long time. So a lot of these guys they haven't competed in an Elite Series event here. Granted, I think there was an Open here last year. And there's been some other tournament circuits that went here. So some of these guys have fished it as in this particular time of year, semi-recently. But you got guys like a John Cox who was won there, but it was not at this time of year.
No.
I think that tournament he won out there was in like mid to late August.
Yeah, it was Forest Wood Cup, so it was midsummer.
Yeah.
And he was fishing springs.
Yeah. And I mean, everyone knows where that went down. Like a lot of these things have been exposed on this lake, I guess.
Yep.
So I guess it'd be interesting to see.
Like you look at it, Wheeler isn't fished nearly as much as like a Pickwick. Like it would be going so Wheeler, Wilson, Pickwick, Nickajack, Gunnersville, and it goes up the line, and then up from that is Kentucky Lake. But Wheeler isn't nearly fished as much as like a Pickwick. Pickwick is torched. where a Wheeler is not nearly as picked apart, maybe doesn't have as good of a population of fish, but there's still the TVA type style fish in it. Like I expect there to be TVA type northern bass that are 8 pounds. I expect a couple of those, but I expect, that first day of the tournament for, I would say, my guess is 12 to 15 guys over 20 pounds, and then a lot of 17-pound bags.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
I think that's what I had chalked up was kind of 17 pounds a day as what would win. But I mean, who knows? Because like you said, guys are going to catch 20, but then can they back it up?
Yeah. And I think because there was a tournament, there was a BFL All-American a long time ago at the tail races of the dam, and I can't remember his name. He's a big insurance agent out of Osage Beach, but he caught 28 pounds, and he caught 26 pounds, and then the next day he caught 12 pounds on the third day. But he blew the tournament away. Blew it away. Yeah, blew it away. Marcus Sikora is his name. But it's a ledge fishing lake still. You look at some of the old KVD videos on he would run train on some of the flats out just below the dam. There's this huge, I forgot what it's called, but there's this huge flat where it's a known ledge fishing portion of the lake, and
that's just Decatur Flats.
Decatur Flats. That's what it's called, and it's just going to happen. I mean, it's that time of year. It's the first week of June. It's the first week of June on the TVA. They're all offshore. 90% of the fish are offshore. That's what they do. So we'll see
how it pans out.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, if somebody gets something shallow going, they might have it enough to themselves that they can maybe ride it out. But 4 days, man,
it's a hard ask. I think you could sneak into the top 12 doing it, but to win, no. Yeah. I think you'd have to have something substantial other than that shallow water bite. I think you'd have to maybe have something really good shallow that you could catch a fish or two, but then have to rely heavily on that deep water bite.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so I did get a text from Bart here. He actually gave me a little bit of an update plus his pick. So I'm going to play the update first because we didn't get to do it earlier, and we'll just see what he's got to say here. But then I'll read his picks. And I didn't get any picks from Sam. So either he didn't fill out his roster, which if he did, that's going to seal the deal right there. If he zeroes on this one, dead last done. Again, he's done deal. So
Pink.
Hey.
Pink, dude, I gotta piss so bad now.
All right, I'm gonna play this Bart update. You do your thing, dude. Let's see what we got here. Barty boy checking in. Let's see what we got. All right, these boys are out fishing somewhere this week.
What's going on, fellas? Bart here, checking in for the week. I will not be on the podcast this week. As of right now, I should be down at Lake Okoboji in Iowa for kicking off the Classic Bass Champions Tour season. Should be a pretty cool event. I'm actually really excited to cover this one. There's a lot of giant bass in here, and there's never been a catch, weigh, release format on it. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. I am excited to hear from Sobe because he is fishing this event. And from the Snapchats I saw on Saturday, Okoboji was very busy with party boats. And if people don't know about Okoboji, it is like Lake Minnetonka times 20 when it's bad. There is so many more boats, and the boats are so much bigger. So I'm curious to hear about what he thought about that whole situation down in Iowa. But that is what I'll be doing. Then I'm heading to the Mississippi River for a team trail tournament. Should be really fun. Excited to get down there. Getting a weird summer flood situation after all the rain we got. hopefully we'll be able to get a little froggy and have some fun with some largemouth. Other than that, just getting after it, fishing, and pretty soon we're going to be heading to the Bassmaster Opens, and I can't believe those are already rolling in. So hope you guys have a good podcast. I'm sure with Stolski, Hahner, and Pinkalla, this one's going to go wildly off the rails really quickly, and you guys should have fun. Peace.
All right, that was Barty Boy checking in. Like I said, we didn't get an update from Sam, so I don't know. So hopefully the fishing was good. Hopefully he remembered to fill out his roster, because this could take a dramatic turn on the fantasy thing here. But so I got his roster right here. So Barty Boy picking A bucket, Jordan Lee. B going Ben Milliken. C bucket, Logan Parks. D, Joseph Webster. And E taking Buddy Gross, who I have been avoiding like the plague this whole season after picking him week 1 and being absolutely gut shot. So I don't know, man. It's like I don't exactly know if these picks that he's got are going to be good. Hunter just got back. I'm just running down his picks here. He got Jay Lee, Ben Milliken, Logan Parks, Joseph Webster, and Buddy Gross.
That's actually a solid team.
So
Joe Webster is that's always in the back of my head, because I've fished against him. I've talked to him. That guy's good. He's very, very good. And this is an event that I could see him doing very well at.
Yeah, and I mean, he was kind of up at the top of the, the percent owned, like people that picked him kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was, number 4 in the D bucket situation there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of variables here just because they haven't been there in so long, right? Like, yeah, there's a lot of good sticks, but it's like, who's actually, I don't know. Like I said, Sobe didn't give us a roster. We don't know what's going on there. You want to burn through your picks? You got them there?
Sure. Yeah.
Or actually, did you send you?
Off my head.
Okay, I was gonna say.
No, actually, I got an email about one of my picks. I thought he would have been a really great pick for this one, but I got an email saying that he is not fishing.
Really?
I'm like, yeah. Which is Jamie Hartman.
Interesting.
I don't know why he's not fishing. I was going to bring that up with another angler, but so A bucket, Jordan Lee, 100%. Throw the chips on the table. That boy's going to have a good event. He's going to top 20 this thing. If he doesn't, someone clipped his fuel line. They ripped off his power poles. They slashed his tires. The boy's going to have a good tournament. He's going to have a good event. It is what it is. I mean, the kid knows.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's done. It's done. and then I think it's B bucket. But I have Justin Atkins, which is the Wheeler kid, which Jordan Lee knew everything he knows about Wheeler from Justin Atkins. Justin Atkins knows that lake better than anyone in the field. He has, I guarantee you, he has 1,000 waypoints on Wheeler itself. Like, it's... So when they went to Pickwick, Justin Atkins was a huge pick. Justin Atkins knows Pickwick a fraction of what he knows Wheeler. He knows every stump, every laydown, every bit of where a shad spawn, every brim bed, every major schooling ledge. He knows where they go in, where they go out. And like, I love the guy, but he knows it extremely well. And I would say if his head is right, he's going to have a phenomenal event there.
You think he knows it too well, though? Because, you see that with a lot of these hometown guys.
Yeah. But I think he's going to another top 20 guy.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
I think so.
A solid point getter.
Yep.
All right.
I might
I have your picks here. I have them here.
Okay, so what is bucket C?
You had Greg Hackney.
Yes. So this is going on the basis of that shallow water bite that we were talking about.
Yep.
I think Greg is meticulous enough and like very in tune with what's going on around him. Like when you watch him, there's this video that floats around on YouTube of his, like, it's like 45 minutes long, but it shows exactly how he picks apart things. And I think if there's a shallow water bite, I think he's going to go deep too. But he's one of those guys where I think if he finds something deep, but he has the opportunity to go shallow, he's going to lean towards shallow and potentially bring in a good bag. I just like that pick out there. I just like that pick.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely, if he finds something shallow, he'll be hard to compete with shallow. But
yeah,
it's like, how good is the offshore going to be, you know?
It'll be good. It'll be good. I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like he's like, don't get me wrong, Greg Hackney's won on Pickwick with damn near 100 pounds offshore.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not a bad offshore fisherman.
Yeah, he knows how to catch him there.
Yeah. So that was kind of my pick on bucket C. Bucket D. Was that the Jamie Hartman?
Yes. Yep.
So I went with another shallow water guy, and that was Caleb Kupal.
Yep.
Kind of a dark horse in this one, but exceptional at putting a jig in his hand and figuring out something shallow. Not to say he can't fish out deep, but the guy can straight up catch him with a jig. The guy's really good with a jig. So that's, out of all the options in bucket D, I'm like, potentially this guy. I'm going to throw a risk at Caleb Kupal because he's a shallow water hammer.
Yeah.
So if he finds something up there, he's going to catch him.
I like it.
Bucket E, what did I have?
You had, let's see, Buddy Gross.
Oh, that's TVA legend. Absolutely TVA legend. Like, it's a ledge tournament. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. Like,
I was just saying, when you
catches them off ledges.
when you were pissing or whatever, I was just saying, I was like, Bart had him too, and I like went out of my way to not pick him just because I picked him like week 1 or 2, and he totally bombed, and I was so like gut shot on the whole thing that I was like, I can't, dude. I have zero confidence. Like, he might have a good derb in this one, but I was like, I gotta go elsewhere, dude.
He's kind of a wild card because you got to get the right buddy. But if he's confident, he's gonna do really well at this event.
Yeah,
he'll do really, really well. Like if he's on his shit, where he searches and searches and searches and searches and goes and goes and goes and goes, he'll do really well. If he's off of that, it's not going to be a good event.
Yeah, I just feel like this is people are going to be fishing in a crowd the whole time is how I envision this going.
Oh yeah.
That it's like guys that get spun out on that, I think might not do that well. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep, for sure.
So I don't know.
I think it's going to be, I think there's going to be the typical 4 ledges up there are going to be crowded. And then it's going to take some sneaky shit to catch, like 6 fish schools, 10 fish school type stuff that's actually going to win it. Or it could be, I don't know what the water levels are there right now at all, but it could be a shallow water ledge. It could be something you can't see with live scope.
Right.
I think that's the stuff that's actually going to win. And now that I'm saying this, I wish I would have picked someone else. But anyway.
So yeah, and so like I was kind of actually my A bucket, I was kind of torn a little bit. I mean, I know the
what'd you pick?
So I ended up picking Jordan Lee, but I was like 50-50 Trey McKinney, Jordan Lee, based on how he did. You know what I mean? I was like,
I know what you're saying.
I ended up erring on the side of experience, though. Even though,
man,
he's had the hot stick.
I'm just not gonna bet against him. I'm just not gonna.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because it's like you don't want to be on the wrong side of that.
No, I'm just not gonna bet against Jordan Lee in the TVA.
Like I feel that Trey McKinney is gonna have a good tournament there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the last tournament he fished on this body of water was like literally the last week of May, and he caught him good.
Yeah,
and I don't know. That's where I was at, but I did end up picking Jordan Lee for that one. So hopefully that pans out. Maybe I'll eat my words there. B bucket, I went with Brandon Palaniuk on this one. Finished second in the Open in 2023 out there.
You got the sneaker picks, don't you?
So I'm trying to, hey, I got to try to back something up here. I got to stay in the hunt here. C, I went with Taku. Yeah. Who again did well out here, and just consistency. I mean, the dude's consistently at the top all the time. D, I went Clark Wentland.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at all.
And then my E bucket, I was like, oh, I don't know, and I ended up going Scott Canterbury for my E.
Another really good shallow water guy. I think he's going to burn the fuck out of a buzzbait, and he'll probably catch 14 to he'll have like a 14 pound day and then maybe a 20 pound day.
But the story of this season is just getting your whole team in the cut, dude. Or like just in the top 50. I mean, it's like, oh, Jesus. So I would just feel like that. I feel like that squad's going to get me there. I just can't leave anybody hanging down there and 68th, 70. It's just like, that's what's the killer in this one is you drop one guy off and you're burnt.
I know.
So anyway, I did a little against the grain there, but I think I got some good ones in there. But yeah, so Jay Lee, Brandon Palaniuk, Taku, Clark Wentland, Scott Canterbury.
Solid.
And then I put up 68 pounds as like a winning weight for it, figuring about 17 a day. I don't know.
North.
Really?
North. Yeah. Yep. I think 86.
Oh, that much.
Yeah.
So they gonna catch them.
I mean, they won't. They'll bitch and complain about it. But I think the winner's weights, you're going to look at 20 pounds across the board.
Yeah. I just felt like people are going to divide so many fish. That was why I was like, guy catches him one day, but he's, how much room are you going to give the leader when you're fishing in a pack?
Like that good of a fishery with like that time frame, I think 86. I think I put down 87, but I think 85 to 86.
Still pretty stout. I mean, that's
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how it pans out. As of right now, like I said, Sam still is not checked in. He might just blank, dude. I don't know, because he's not going to even hear this podcast till after the tournament starts. So,
Nah. Well, you have to go without GoPros for a while.
Something. Oh my god! I think this will be a good one to like. I'm excited to watch some of the live coverage of this though. Like I think it's going to be like an interesting one. Like a lot of them have not been crazy interesting, but like this one I feel like will be.
I hated these type of events. Hated them. Absolutely hated them. Like which everyone knows how to read their electronics. So if you found something, you could like basically mark it and just move on. You're like, no, someone else found that.
Yeah.
Move on. Find the next one. Mark it. Oh, someone else found that one.
Yeah.
Mark it. And then you roll down the lake and you're like, why was I ever fishing shallow? I needed more time. Like, yeah. It's awful. It's an awful place to be.
But you're right, though. Like, everybody finds everything, right? It's like...
Yeah. Yep. And... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the local knowledge going to Wheeler is going to be a huge key.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I'm kind of glad I aired on the experience side, or like people that have done well there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like previous, I don't know. Like
or fished it.
Or yeah.
Fished it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's one thing to like have one good event, right? But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just like, at this point, it's like survival. Like, I feel like this one is like, you got to get through this one. And as long as you're sitting good in the points, so you're probably money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Then it's for a lot of the guys that live up north, like the Canadian guys, like once you get up north, it's easy breeze. Like chuck a hair drag, chuck a drop shot, like who the fuck cares? Like you're gonna catch 4-pounders.
Do you think the picks get more difficult though? I mean, I know like obviously it's like, oh, you just pick the guys from up here, but it's like now we got all these southern guys that are catching them too.
No, I think the Japanese guys are the ones that you pick.
I think you're right.
Like I think like obviously Taku, smallmouth Disneyland, whatever. But I think their mindset with smallmouth is set like perfectly for that brand of fish.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and
it's like hyper finesse electronics.
Hyper finesse, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think some of the Canadian guys, although they're extremely experienced and very, very, very good on certain bodies of water, I think they're a little more clunky than some of the Japanese guys, which are tight tolerances, tight, everything's like in check. And I would definitely pick a Japanese guy over some people.
I like that. Yeah, I think we'll see how it plays out, but they tend to do good, like all the time.
Always
on those smallmouth deals.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see how this plays out now that we got a little bit of pressure on the line, at least with the picks. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I'm glad I'm sitting where I'm sitting right now.
Same.
Oh my god, this is gonna be good. I don't know why, and they let us decide this, which is crazy.
Why?
So I don't know. They're not here, dude.
They thought I would lose.
They did.
I don't lose. I don't.
Back on top, baby. Back on top. That's right. We'll let them duke it out for that last spot. I think I know how that. I would almost put money on that Sobe did not fill out a lineup.
Yeah,
and he's gonna take dead last, and it's still gonna probably come down to a Bart and Sobe last place off. I think.
Yeah,
I'm feeling pretty confident about my picks this week.
I like my picks. I like your picks, but I definitely like my picks.
Yeah.
The Caleb Kupal pick, that could fuck me.
But maybe not, dude.
Yeah.
There's always one. There's always one like in the back of your head, you're like, God damn it. I should not have did that. And then you're watching Bass Track and you're like, I was right.
Yep, totally knew it.
Yep, I knew it. I
knew his strengths and weaknesses. Yep. Caleb Kupal throwing a 10XD. Yep, knew it.
Isn't that the worst? Dude, here was the worst. So when was this? I don't even know what event it was. It was like one of the first ones of the season. And I don't even remember who I picked. If it was like Kenta or one of the Japanese anglers. I forget if it was him or I think it was. Because he was like, they were expecting him to be like scoping and all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they cut to him and he's in a cut throwing a spinnerbait. And I was like, no. And then for like 20 minutes on live, they were just commenting on how like it would, if he was going to catch him scoping, he wouldn't be doing this. And look how he looks so uncomfortable, like blindly casting around. I was like, oh, I cannot believe oh God.
This is where we're at.
This is where we're at. I'm literally watching it implode on live, like halfway through the first day. I was like, this is not going well. This is not good. And it wasn't. It didn't go well. It didn't go well. I think that was still my worst event in the whole season. So fantastic.
Yeah. Jason Christie was not crushing them. It was, that was a weird event.
I'm a little nervous, but I still am confident. I think it'll be good. This will be a good event. Good picks all around.
Yeah. So what do we got up next, Pink?
Well, let's do a little. I kind of held this off because I didn't know what Stolski's plan was, but I do have a what in the world is going on. I don't know if you have one, but I did have one that I actually wanted to ask you about specifically. So this is perfect.
All right.
So Big Bear Lake, California. Have you heard of this place?
Yes.
Okay. It's like a 3,000 acre lake in south central-ish California.
Mm-hmm.
Largemouth fishery, stocker trout lake. I think it's just like a recreation. Do they hold tournaments there? I don't know. Maybe not. Anyways, they hold at least one annual tournament there, and it's the annual Fish for 50K event. And it just happened this past weekend.
Okay.
And this tournament is basically it's open to like anyone. $80 buy-in. And it is a stocked trout tournament where they tag 5 fish randomly, each one with a $10,000 reward tag.
What?
So for 2 days, it's open fishing for trout. And if you happen to catch one or all 5 of these fish, each one has a $10,000 tag on it.
What?
And I guess for a long time, this has not like no one's ever caught one of these fish. So I think they said they release. Forget the no. I think there's maybe 30. It's either I think 30 fish have like some type of reward. 5 of these fish have $10,000 tags on them, and in like the history of this event, I don't think anyone has ever caught one of these fish. The event was this weekend, and 2 $10,000 fish were caught in one day. This weekend, and like they've never caught one before. And this weekend, the first day of it, 2 of them were caught. So they paid out $20K to these guys that ended up catching these 2 trout. And it just sounds like a cool event. And like I said, they do it every year. I think they give away it's like a big, I think there's a lot of people involved in this. I think they said they sold like 800. What was it? Like hundreds of people are registered. It's not just like 20 guys or something. But yeah, $80 buy-in.
It's insane.
And yeah, 2 people won $10K just for catching. And they were like, I think the one trout was maybe like a 15-inch trout, and the other one was, a little bigger. It was like a 2-pounder or something. Just stocker rainbows. But I was just like, I've never heard of an event quite like this where they like tag. I've heard of these reward tags like on different, smallmouth and walleye and stuff that the DNR puts like these, normally it's like $100 or, something
not
like that.
10K.
Right. And, or like you see it on like the waterfowl thing, some of the, like the leg bands are like a reward. Like if you report the band, you get like some sort of, $50 or $100 or whatever.
Right.
But, it made me like think though, like, could you consistently win an event like that where seemingly is like random, but like, is it though?
Where it's a bass tournament and you're just fishing with power bait balls.
Right though. But I mean, it's a big lake, right? So it's like they dump all these trout in there. Theoretically, they could go anywhere, but do they?
No.
Because they didn't specify where these fish were caught, but my gut feeling is that it was in a very
right next
spot.
to the landing.
Yeah, yeah.
Underneath the dock.
And, yeah. But yeah, I've never heard of a tournament quite like that before.
That's insane.
But think about that. Just catching one fish, 10K. And it wasn't like you're competing against other people, really. I mean, other people are fishing, but
they're not fishing for them.
All you have to do is land this trout with it, And I don't know. Can you sight fish them? Like, can you see these tags? Like if you were on a school stock trout, could you see the one that was tagged? I'm assuming it's clear. I'm assuming it's very clear water. Because I saw the picture of the fish the guy was holding up, and it was like a 4-inch long, bright pink, fluorescent pink tag sticking out of the dorsal fin of this trout.
Oh, so you can totally see that thing. In a school of them? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That would be, gobs of pink power bait would be going at that thing.
Yeah. Well, and so the guy in the article about it, so the one guy, they like put his name in there and the whole thing, and they asked him, well, what are you going to do with the money and the whole thing? And he's like, oh, I'm going to pay some bills or whatever. And then the other guy, like even in the thing, they're like, he asked to remain anonymous. I was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He didn't want anybody to know he got this 10K trout. He's like, I'm going fishing. So anyway, but yeah, I just thought it was like a cool event format. I've never even heard of this tournament. Apparently it's a pretty big deal, but yeah, Big Bear Lake, California. Fish for 50K is the name of the tournament, but
that's sick.
I don't know. Would you be down? you trying to go power bait up Big Bear Lake, dude?
I got spinners rigged for days.
Ooh. I don't know what the rules are in Cal. The rules probably suck in California, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what their fishing regulations are out there. I'm sure they're not good.
Only.
No rod.
No rod. No hooks. Yeah. You got to clean your boat while you're on the water.
Oh my god! I can only imagine, dude. All right, you got one?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I was gonna bring up because there was a retiree of the Bassmaster here recently.
Yep.
And Derek Hudnall retired from Bassmaster, and I'm wondering, like, basically Derek Hudnall had like a 8-year career, whatever, on the Bassmaster Elite Series. And I don't know if he made the Bassmaster Classic, but he did well enough to make all 8 years. And I'm just, at this point in time, with the circumstances of the bass fishing, like where everything's at with professional bass fishing, is it a viable option for people, like especially people who aren't completely out of their minds?
You're talking like from a financial perspective.
Yeah, financially, like family oriented perspective, like, because it had me thinking a lot, because I know him decently well. I don't know him super, super well, but I know certain things about him. And for him to just retire is telling. Now, like and it's so, like, say you're a college kid, like we're college kids, like, do you still have the same dream of being a professional fisherman, or do you have the dream of getting a good job and then becoming a professional fisherman?
I feel like that had to have changed like over time though, because I feel like when I don't know. I feel like when we were in college, looking at that going, man, that would be sick.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like that, not that we would look at that and be like, oh yeah, that was attainable. Like we were definitely going to do that.
Yeah.
But like you probably physically could have, right?
Right.
But like now, I don't know, man. Like,
because now, like, I mean, it's basically fitted for the MLF guys to come back to the Bassmaster Elites to have some star power. But now their star power, I think with Bassmaster, their star power is getting old. That's what it is. They're old.
Yeah.
They're old. Like, look at, I mean, Ike Alley still moves the needle, but he's not a powerhouse.
He's not primetime Ike.
No, but like he still moves the needle with sponsors and stuff, which is all that, I mean, really matters as far as a professional fisherman. But
how long is it going to be before some of these guys start tapping out? Like, we just watched KVD hang it up.
Yeah, KVD is like selling 15% off discount coupons at Bass Pro Shops.
The GOAT, literally.
The GOAT.
Yeah.
Down to nothing. Like, and it got me thinking, maybe this guy probably had the right idea. Maybe because he's a smart enough fellow. So, and I know he has some sort of construction background, and maybe there's a better opportunity there, which probably there was.
Yeah.
Like, how many of these guys are just like myself at that point in life, but they're now much older? How many of those guys are just basically wasting their life away, but Bassmaster is showcasing their, their dream, but not paying them what they should be.
Well, right. So like this Derek Hodnell, right? Like, he wasn't like winning a lot.
No,
but I mean, like, he was still on the
Elite Series.
Right. But I think that was like that's the argument, right? That it's like the guy's retired because basically, like, he wasn't making enough money to like continue to be a professional angler.
Right.
Even though he's on the Elite Series. And then like you have the argument like, well, he wasn't cashing enough checks or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like there's more to it than that.
Oh yeah.
Than just like performing well enough in events to just cash checks.
Yep. Like I feel so there's young guys that are doing exceptionally well, like the Jay Shakurits and the Trey McKinneys, which are floating high in the clouds, that are not living in the reality bubble.
Right. They're not the middle of the pack anglers.
No.
Yeah.
They're living high on the hog.
Yeah.
But then there's middle of the road anglers, which, I mean, man, I don't know how the fuck they're doing it. Because
just from you're saying like the sponsor dollars, right? Like
sponsor dollars, like what they're making each event. I know exactly what they're paying. Like it just, I mean, they've got to be flat out like way, way negative in order to do it. They have to be. Like a lot of these guys are soaking up credit card bills way negative. So at one point in time, do you do a Derek Hudnall and be like, no,
I just can't do it anymore.
Like, like I'm being realistic. It's just not going to happen.
And it's not because the skill level's not there. It's like all these guys are good. They made the Elite Series, but like they're just physically not making enough money to even continue to compete.
Right.
It's unreal, dude.
So
but that's a good point. Yeah, and like I think that's why fishing's crazy, right? Because it's like even if you're winning, it's different, right? Like if you're winning events, like you're making some money. But for these guys that are just you're finishing in 50th all the time.
And you're scrapping out. So like I mean that first year that I fished, I did my tax return or whatever, and I looked at my expense and I'm like, how is that even possible? Because I was eating peanut butter and beans.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is that even possible? Like closing the gap on 100 G's, like right there, right at the line.
Just to compete.
To compete.
Yeah.
Now to say like these guys who have all these other expenses, if they're not strategic enough to like align themselves with the right people, they're paying that strictly out of their pocket and out of their savings. Yeah. That makes no sense.
Yeah. But but to your point, the sponsor money isn't there for these these guys are getting phased out, dude. Like all these older guys, like they want these young guns that are exciting to watch and like that are got some buzz around them, right?
Yeah.
So but then you got legends of the sport that are probably scrapping it together because they're not selling anything anymore.
No. Who wants to buy a crankbait? I want to buy a fluke.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
It's crazy. But that's what I was thinking about.
That is wild. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like and because it's like now it's like if you can sell stuff, that's almost worth more than like
100%.
Being at the top of it. Well, I mean, obviously being able to compete well is one thing, but like you still gotta be able to sell stuff. I mean, that's still the sport.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I'd still think fish I know we've talked about this a ton of times before on here, but it's like the payouts just need to get bigger, dude. Like they got to figure out a way to make this like more of a golf type scenario, where
and like they had it at one point in time. They had like FLW had the military backing them. Like the military was a huge sponsor of Walmart, Chevy, like talking to certain guys like that were back like 2010 FLW days. They're talking how big their sponsorship deals were. And it's 2024 and it just ain't happening. $100,000 like wasn't even a lot back then. Now you're looking at it like it's like that's not going to pay the bills.
Right. That's just a season of expenses. Like,
yeah. That's it. That's on a good year.
Right.
So I don't know. I think
do you think there will be more guys that hit the panic button and do the same thing?
I think so, but I think there's so many college kids that are willing to like pick up those spots to fulfill that dream.
Yeah.
That it'll never die.
Right.
And I don't think those guys who work that hard to get to where they're at to fulfill like that crazy dream, that like high of a dream, are willing to stand up against like, I mean, think of it as like a union. If you were getting paid, say $100,000 over a year. I mean, I'm trying to think of it. When I was on tour, I'd put in 14 to 16-hour days. So 14 to 16 days. I mean, it's compatible to what a McDonald's worker is making per hour.
Sure. Yeah.
Once people realize that, they're going to be like, what in the fuck am I doing here? I don't know. I think in order for it to get better, it's got to be more on the golf side of things.
Yeah, like the pay scale.
The pay scale where to win an event, a singular event, you're making $500,000.
Yeah.
To win the Bassmaster Classic, you're making $1 million, which happened during which the Forest Wood Cup did pay. What is his name? Whatever, $1 million for the Forest Wood Cup back in the day. Like, it's just not good enough.
Yeah, no, you're right, and it's like it's crazy because like fishing, people come from like so many, like it's not. I don't know. Like you see some of these guys like Scott Martin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, has like, you know, he's balling.
Oh yeah. Like he figured it out. Like he has it. Yeah, he has it fine. Just because he has like the know-how and is smart enough to figure out what he needs to do with his pedestal that he has.
Sure. Yeah. Like marketing, the whole social media aspect, all of it. Then you got guys like Derek Hudnall. It's like, man.
Yeah.
Dude can catch him, but it's like, it's like it's not even a fair, like, play. I mean, it's not just about the competition, you know? No. It's like, yeah. No. I don't know, man. No. Fishing's wild that way. Especially like the bass side of things, because you do have all these guys from all these different places where you look at like, because the other like biggest tournaments in the world are all saltwater tournaments, right?
Yep.
But that's not just like anybody can play this game. Like these are all heavy hitters that are fishing these tournaments that are millions and millions of dollars on the line. But it's like the entry fee is like $20,000.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I don't know. It's I think tournament bass fishing is in like a very interesting like limbo right now, especially with like the different circuits that are out there, like having trouble just staying alive, let alone paying these guys enough to like live. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think there's, I don't know. I think it's a troubling time.
Do you think that right now, at least in bass fishing, it pays more to be like a really consistent regional pro, like regional type pro, than it does to like, I'm not 100%. Saying people shouldn't pursue the elite series, but some of these, you know, like mid-tier 100%. Tournament series where it's 100%. Like, yeah, like if you're consistently banging there, man, I feel like the expenses are way lower. The payouts are still good.
I think your margins in a regional a regional type setting. If you're super good, and I know guys who are doing this on like Kentucky Lake and Gunnersville and stuff, where they had their little sneak holes and they would just pop 26 pounds and go back to weigh in. They made, $2,000, and they spent a gallon of gas. That's it, and $40.
Right, just like these little jackpot tournaments, not like a Bassmaster Open or something.
No, I think.
Yep.
I think if you're trying to qualify right now for the Bassmaster Elite Series, you are strictly on daddy's money or you're wasting money.
Could be, dude. Because there's very few guys that probably like have the skills to compete there.
Well, it's the skills to compete, like, yes. But like think about it.
But you have to win. You have to win to make it worth your time. You have to win.
Yeah. You have 9 weeks, at minimum 9 weeks that you have to account for that you're going to be gone. How many jobs can allow you 9 weeks off?
Right.
9 weeks off. So that's 9 weeks. You're looking at, it's like $56,000 to just fish bare minimum without tackle, without any of the other stuff.
Just to show up.
Just to show up. So 9 tournaments, $1,800. Yeah, it's like $20,000 for entry fees plus like accounted cost for gas, food, stuff, lodging, stuff like that. You're looking at like $50,000 to $58,000. And I mean, how many people can spend 9 weeks off and do that?
That's so true. That's so true. And like, and you're saying like, if you were fishing, like, I'm just going to throw out something I'm aware of, but like Wisco bass or like the Champions Tour.
Right.
Granted, and there are guys that just straight bang on those tours.
That, I mean, at this point in time with like how qualifying and stuff goes, that's where I would say.
Especially if you're cashing checks.
If you're crushing them and you're making money on those type of tours, like Classic Bass pays great. Wisco Bass pays great. If you're crushing fish and you don't have much of like a following, sure, you can build that following, but I mean, if you don't have a plan set in place or you don't have like a story backing you, once you make the Elite Series, it is not worth it. You gotta be a cigarette smoking Seth fighter. You have to be, a Scotty Too Hottie Martin. You got to be like one of these guys or you have to be like a Jay Shakurik who is just consistently fucking filthy, or a Trey McKinney who comes out 19 years old leading AOI. You have to be one of those guys.
Right.
If you're middle of the pack Elite Series, you're basically middle of the pack Wisco Bass.
True. Yeah, I get, and like, there's something to be said though, even though at that regional level though, if you can still sell, like if you still have that social media thing, you can still, you can probably actually rake in that world. I mean, which is crazy, but
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Damn.
But no, that's kind of what I was thinking about. I'm like
no,
wondering,
that is,
because
good.
Yeah, I was just watching golf here recently, and I'm like, damn, these guys got it a hell of a lot better than the Bass guys do.
Oh, dude, so much better.
Like
much better.
The Corn Ferry Tour guys, Corn Ferry, what a name. The Corn Ferry Tour guys got it better than us. That's crazy.
It's unreal. God. No, you're right though. I'd be curious to see kind of how it pans out, but I think it is a really tough time to try to pursue that right now. Like probably as hard as it's ever been.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's not a smart. I don't think it's a smart idea. unless you got the sticks.
But I do like that lane of like that crush that regional competition level and just murder the sales game. And like you could probably make a career of it.
I mean, that's literally, I think if there's a college kid or something, you know, if I could tell myself back then something, I would probably share this. Instead of focusing so much on your skills on the water, dedicate as much time as you do on the water as you do off the water. That's what I would have told myself.
That's fair. Getting all philosophical on the end of this one.
There we go. Fair. I think it's fair.
I like it.
It's fair.
I like it. All right, man. You got anything else?
Well, after that,
that was good.
Bible verse I shared with you. That was an entire
book. Was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Oh yeah. No, I got another more.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Pass the Barb. Remember to rate, subscribe to this podcast, YouTube, all social media platforms, everything. We're going to get that poll up there for this fantasy fishing punishment deal. We need people to vote on it. Stick around. There'll be plenty more where this one came from. Thanks for listening. See you on the next one.